Well, thank you all for joining us here at the Hassan Mustafa Sports Hall in Cairo, Egypt for day 2 of the BAL-Africa League. It's the Nile Conference, and we've got 2 games coming up tonight. FAP of Cameroon take on BC Espoir Fukash of the Democratic Republic of Congo. And, well, our second dose of BAL action, bringing you last season's semi-finalists from Angola, Petro de Rwanda, clashing with newcomers Cape Town Tigers of South Africa. Newcomers tonight, new teams on the court, but very familiar faces off it. But let's have a look at the starting 5 for Espoir Fukash with Mwamba, Kasongo, Mbaka, Nganga, Rolly Fuller is the man to watch out for, Emmanuel Usungu. Now, familiar faces off the court as well, because we have Q. He's next to me. Q, let's take a look at the starting 5 for FAP. How are you?
I'm great, thanks, Robbie. Looking forward to what should be a fantastic game. And that moment out there, Ayaga, as well as Almeida, Wangmene, and Akumenzo who get the start. And Almeida is exciting, and I think it's going to be a fun game.
And we also have Usher Komayisha, who's courtside for the latest breaking news. Usher, how are you tonight? You feeling it tonight?
It is a beautiful day, and we can't wait for this basketball today. 2 games back to back. That's a lot of basketball to watch today.
It definitely is. Raven Mwimba is the man in charge of BC Espoir Fukash, a team that were founded in 2019 from Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo. Just 3 years in the Congo Cup title in 2021. Francois Eligwe is the man in charge for FAP as we get underway. Q, already the action has started.
There's going to be high action, and there's no loss of rivalry between these 2 teams. They saw each other in qualification. FAP, of course, triumphing on both occasions that they saw Fukash, and they'll want to change that narrative, I think, here in this all-important now conference opener for both teams.
First long-range shot coming, just not being drained there by Iyaga. Of course, FAP playing in white with the team from the DRC playing in black. Is a good long-range shot there coming off the metal, and a good offensive rebound. Can't get the follow-up and the rebound, so still no points to talk about just yet. That is a fantastic shot from out wide, and the first points go for FAP from that man, Joel Almeida of Cape Verde.
He's a bucket, what we like to call a walking bucket, Joel Almeida. You got to look out for him, especially on the offensive end.
Cape Verde, of course, islands just off the west of Africa, and well, they love their sport over there. He originally came through Sao Vicente, but spent a lot of time playing in the United States at Brockport University.
And he's got Afro-basket experience, you know, playing for Cabo Verde. You saw some of his long-range ability there on that opening bucket, and we expect a lot more of that. He's going to be a primary offensive point for sure.
Absolutely, there's a chance here for Arsene Mwamba, and his shot just comes back off the metal there. A player who played for BC Mazembe down in Lubumbashi, of course, which is a hotbed. That's a very long, quick transition basket. Look at that. And that is dunked in perfectly there. You got to watch out for that man. Rolly Fuller is the man making the call.
And that's all too easy, and it's a nice way to just break the ice as far as Espoir Fukash are concerned.
Brice Iyaga. And there's first foul of the night, just a couple of minutes in, as we can see that they're just getting the lay of the land. Just look at that. And Fuller will be very, very keen to make his mark tonight. Key player for this team from the DRC, Espoir Fukash.
He was a big part of the DRC's winning campaign in the AfroCan in 2019, and will try to bring some of that winning to Espoir Fukash on this bigger stage.
Yeah, and a hero against AS Police. We see another foul, and you can see that Wang Mene is down on the ground. Let's hope that he's okay. Just getting his breath back after getting knocked off his balance.
Well, that's always tricky as he falls, trying to take the screen and just bundle straight through him. It looks like he's just a little bit winded. Worse for wear, he gets to his feet, and I think he'll be okay and set to return.
There's Chris Mbaka, one of the big boys on the court, who picked up the foul there. Focus on him for that little moment.
It is obviously going to be a physical game between these 2 teams.
And the That's a fine score, that is, from Mormon. We need to keep our eyes out for that man as well. Thank you, Asha. It will be physical, guaranteed, big time.
Nice looking touch there from Mormon, just from the elbow.
That's a beautiful little pass in the paint, and trying to go through the middle, decides to go up. Offensive rebound and another chance. Well, they're getting plenty of opportunities. Finally, it's been sunk there by Emmanuel Shungu, getting his first points tonight.
I know it's still early going, but they've really got to work a lot harder on the boards, do FAP if they want to stay in this. And Almeida, wow.
It's a massive score, isn't it? I mean, that wasn't downtown. We talk about downtown. We talk about, you know, in a different land over the other side of the border. Look at that. That's the response. A perfect setup. And how about that for just draining the two there from Mbaka, the acrobatics, big time.
It's back and forth, and this is the competition level expected between these two teams who know each other well.
Very good defensive play. They finally get the ball back in their hands. FAP of Cameroon. That's a long-range effort there, just a little bit too much sting on it. Bounces back off the glass, chance for three, but cutting inside. And there's the traveling call, just going against Bobo Kasongo.
Kasongo getting on his bike just a little bit, and this is the nice drive inside, and the defense from Espoir Fukash, along with the two-handed flush.
FAP playing in their second BAL-Africa League, having got through to the quarterfinals. It's a good bit of offensive play, but not even the physicality of the big man, Wang Mene, can get himself the points. A good block, good cover play there as well from Akumenzo. And a mid-range shot for two. Coming back out. And a foul that's been committed.
It's a very contained start by both these teams. They kind of like heavyweight boxers, just jabbing, trying to figure out where they can capitalize most. But it's tempered, and it's probably the lowest octane start we've seen, and then it's going to be a chess match.
And that's a third team foul, which is not good. Just with less than 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. So 4 minutes in, and we've already got a few too many fouls there for Espoir Fukash. Cutting inside, little drive there coming through from FAP, and that man Iyaga comes to nothing. Get the ball back, Fukash.
Well, he thought he had the lane wide open. Help defense came across, and trap coming timely to force the turnover.
Fukash going around the outskirts, trying to find opportunities. There's a mid-range two. The bucket is not being scored, and they will get possession back. Just knocked out of bounds. So it's Kasongo who will get possession. We can just have a look at that. It's just perfectly set up, isn't it, for the big man, Mbaka.
Mbaka was right place, right time, and you got to credit the pass from the point guard. And the offensive foul gets whistled there, just off the ball infringement, and referees, we've seen varied levels of consistency in terms of touch fouls, and this one being called a little tight right now.
Yeah, the great thing, and maybe we can ask Asha just about the importance of gender equality here, you know, in the BAL, with all of the referees that we've actually got here. There's a real nice mix, isn't there, Asha?
Yes, there is a celebration of women across the board, in not only the referee department, but today, obviously, we have Hortensia Carizales from Mexico, who's the female crew chief of this game. And it's a beautiful thing to see. Yesterday we saw Dorothy Okach from Botswana, and there's also Monica Nasuna from Uganda, who will be part of the selection later on in the tournament.
Thanks very much, Asha. And we have an offensive foul, defensive foul there, and it's FAP who are going to reap in the opportunity of getting more points on the scoreboard. There it is. There's the little collision. It was Shungu who just gets in the way, and there you can see it's 14 fouls, which obviously has triggered a reaction. There's a timeout, and that will obviously mean that we'll take a small break. It's FAP 11, Espoir Fukash of the Democratic Republic of Congo, 8 points. Welcome back to Cairo. Here we are with FAP up against Espoir Fukash. 11 points to 8, not much in it, but we can already tell you that there's one player who's making his mark, and his name is Joel Almeida for FAP. Looking very, very strong indeed. Here we got Wang Mene, who's the player who's going up to the free throw line. And the attempt to try and get the rebound, and that will be another foul in quick succession.
Ayaga right there underneath, but Wang Mene will be disappointed to not be able to convert on both of those shot attempts. Experienced, G League experience, Summer League experience, all got to come back into it. He was one of the signees that FAP made in the off-season before they got into this conference. Ayaga, though, sticking with it, and he's right there. He's a Cameroonian, born and bred, played all of his basketball out there. Bryce Ayaga, and he spent some time with them in the World Cup qualifiers, and he's steadily been building up his numbers, and maybe just a guy you want to keep an eye on.
We'll keep an eye on him. Cute, that's what we'll do. Ayaga's the man. Spent a bit of time playing in Gabon, of course, across the border as well, and that's extra point thrown into the bag. Now, 5 fouls, of course, for Fukash, so we'll go straight to the free throw line if there are fouls that are committed, so they've got to be very, very careful in the final 4.5 minutes. And, well, we're already going to the free throw line, but it's at the other end, of course. There's lots going on here tonight.
Well, first foul, and it's a shooting foul for Espoir Fukash as they get to the free throw line. We've seen the importance of free throws, especially down the stretch, and important to just get some rhythm early.
Yeah, so I think the key word in the first quarter is discipline. Something that you've really got to make sure that it's up there tonight, because don't want to be notching up the fouls tonight. 13 points tonight in that extra bucket. As I said, thrown on, so double figures for Fukash, and they're going up. FAP going really quickly, and the big drive going up. It's back-to-back fouls at the moment. There's so much happening. And Usher called it. She said it's going to be physical. It's physical out there. You nailed it, Usher.
Until recently, this was the Central African Republic, Central African derby. But the Democratic Republic of Congo joined East Africa just less than 2 weeks ago. So, but you know, there's still a bit of history there.
Oh, just a little bit.
Just a tad.
Just a little bit.
That's the free throw line. FAP doing their business once again. You can see that it's Mormon who's there, the player originally from Richmond in Virginia.
And it's interesting that FAP have got 2 left-handed scorers in the backcourt. It's a dynamic that you don't see too often. Mormon and Almeida, and they're both piling on some points.
They're very quick, their transition, the Espoir Fukash of the DRC, but unable to drain the points on that occasion. Picked up, taken forward there by Almeida. Almeida's trying to provide his team with a lot of magic, loses possession, and there's a good chance for Fukash to try and get themselves points and just reduce the arrears. Ball comes out, and there's a big long shot for 3, and that is how you do it. And there's a big score coming in there from Bobo Kasongo.
I mean, that was just really great play, all in transition, coming off that penetration on the inside from Almeida. He lost the ball, allowed Fukash to get out in transition. Nice pass to the corner. The challenge comes in late, and the 3 drops for Kasongo.
And of course, he goes straight to the free throw line, and there's a great chance for them to add some more points to the tally. It's a big play, and a very important play that is for Fukash, who really want to get themselves and just get themselves ahead for once, get a little bit of taste of that, that good stuff when you're in the lead.
Espoir Fukash are a young team. They're probably the youngest team on average in this tournament. So some of the experience comes from this man at the free throw line, Bobo Kasongo. He played for ASB Mazembe, put up some nice numbers, 13 points a game, 2 rebounds and an assist. But he's definitely going to be a floor leader and someone that they'll go to because they certainly, with what they lack for in experience, they're going to try and make up for in energy.
15-14, and Kasongo did say in an interview this week, he said, we've got to fight hard to make our country proud. The DRC is watching, all 92 million of those, the population in the Democratic Republic of Congo, of course, Central African team. And yeah, we are excited to see them participating. First ever team from the country to play in the BAL. And here we go as they take the ball up court, and they go in for a long-range attempt for 3 coming off the metal. Unfortunately, it didn't drop for Rolly Fuller, and FAP going up and trying to score again. It's defended well. Well, it rolls back out. Well, how quick is this end-to-end? I've got a quick neck already, Q. What's going on here? Oh, it's a beautiful score. That is sumptuous. And that's what you need to do. It is, of course, Almeida. He is up to what? 12? He's going to be 13 points now.
All of his points coming from the exterior. All these points from the three-point line, and he's caught fire.
Oh, that's the way to do it. Bobo Kasongo dropping in to say hello. Whatever you can do,
he can do better, and comes back with his own reply. Bobo Kasongo.
18-17, FAP just edging ahead. Oh, it's a near steal. That's very good work, and well, it doesn't drop, it doesn't fall for that man, Akumenzo. And they pick the ball up again. You can see that Fukash going out wide, dropping in for 3. Another chance for 3. It's brilliant stuff. Kasongo's the man, and look what he's doing here. He's got himself up to 9 points now.
Planting forests are both these teams. 3s for trees, and that is fantastic shooting by Kasongo.
And it is a celebration for me right there, a replication of the Fimbu celebration for the football team.
FAP just trying to find a little bit of space. Good defensive play. That was really solid stuff to just prevent that ball from getting to that man. Is Glory Bobonel, who's come on for Fukash. And we can see there's so much happening here. They're valiantly defending.
Lots of changes as well. Frequent changes by Espoir Fukash and Coach Raven Wimber, trying to find combinations to help unlock this FAP defense. There's a timeout called as Espoir Fukash first lead of this quarter, and they've got a 2-point lead.
Yeah, that's FAP calling the timeout, of course, because they've just had that lead overturned, and it is Espoir Fukash. So Almeida, 12 points. I said 13 earlier, beg your pardon. But pretty good, pretty solid, pretty dynamic, great leadership skills, putting himself on the map in the early stages of this encounter, of course, and they're getting the lay of the land, tasting the water, Q, to find out exactly how this competition's going to pan out. Let's have a look at that man who's been on fire tonight already.
A long-range assassin, and what you'll see is the catch and shoot, that other first one coming in on broken play in transition, just pulling up off the dribble. And on the other end, Bobo Kasongo with his perfect 3 for 3 and his 10 points, and of course one of them a 4-point play. And he caught fire 3 consecutive times down. And it's fascinating when 2 shooters get open opportunities like this, and you can see that there's very little to choose between the 2 teams.
You know, it's so important to understand exactly the dynamics of how your team functions. Some players, you know, in this team are new recruits. You've got to find out how things function. There was a fine example of how to drop in to say hello from out wide. Kasongo doing the business there. And, you know, they are understanding the dynamics, the family dynamics of understanding, you know, how each other plays. Very important.
He keeps going to the short corner, and his teammates are looking for him on either end, and he's been lethal from out there.
And we're going to get a reaction from Usher. Usher was just listening to the FAP bench, and coach who was just talking to his players. Oh, look at that. He's at it again. This is just ridiculous. That's all right. Every time I go to you, we've got baskets that are just coming in, and they're coming from a parallel universe. They're so outrageously good.
I can tell you that the FAP coach, Francois Enyegi, is not happy with that basket because he just talked about defense, playing defense. They need to do better on that side of the court. But let's see if they react to that on the next possession.
It's exactly that, isn't it? At the end of the day, you've got to understand sort of, you know, how to get yourself in prime control of the game. Look at that, Fukash celebrating these little victories within the bigger picture.
That's a great defensive possession, but for Espoir Fukash, they forced the shot clock violation and forced that turnover. And that is just because of the pressure they're putting on the ball. And this is that broken play where Kasongo got out on the break and flushed it with two hands.
That's what we'd like to see. Okafor is the player who's come on. He's the 17-year-old Nigerian with coming through the NBA, the BAL Elevate program, the NBA Academy, of course. All of these youngsters getting a chance to shine on the big stage. And there's a big shot coming in, but it won't count, of course, because the whistle had already been blown.
Called for the double dribble, just carried the ball for a second, waiting for his options to come, and unforced error. And maybe they'll regret that a little bit later down the stretch. Gotta capitalize on all these mistakes.
Double dribble, double trouble, double double. There's so much doubling up taking place here. That's the way we like it.
Out in the open court, Kasongo. And he's at the hot end. Joint top scorer alongside Almeida, 12 points. Kasongo for Espoir Fukash.
He didn't want to come down from there, did he?
Not at all.
Well, there's Fukash just getting knocked off his feet, and the little battle that's taking place there is Ambanza, who hits the deck. He's the Canadian player, of course, who went to the University of Winnipeg, and in the Canadian Elite Basketball League, of course. He's getting knocked off his feet. They'll get possession back. 28 seconds left on the clock. A bit concerning for the coach Nyege of Cameroon's FAP. Eyenge.
Last touch looks like it came off FAP player, and yes, it does as Fuller gets that last touch.
Perfect operation, really, for Fukash. They've stirred things up and really created a bit of a stink here on the court, because look at them, they're all constantly trying to get themselves the point, and those 2 points are good as well, and they should well, let's just come off the metal. 18-22, it still stands. FAP with a chance to get themselves, but the time, well, it's the end of the quarter. I don't know what they were thinking, just not using the time to their advantage. The points do go up, and it is a 6-point lead. Quite extraordinary there.
Well, this is a last sequence of play where Okafor just couldn't get the dunk to go. It came down, and there was a fortunate turn of events, and they got the last two.
FAP 18, Espoir Fukash 24. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back. Well, thank you very much for joining us once again here at the Hassan Mustafa Sports Hall in Cairo. This is day 2 of the BAL-Africa League, and we are just enjoying this big time. We've had a bit of a tussle already in the first quarter. It's 18 points for FAP, 24 for Espoir Fukash. It's the team from Cameroon, quarter-finalist last season in the opening edition of the BAL, up against Espoir Fukash, debutants in the BAL Season 2.
Well, as far as that first quarter went, Robbie, the first 5 minutes certainly went the way of FAP, but the last 5 was all Espoir Fukash, and they open up with that lovely little shot on the baseline there, and it is Bobo now with 2 to open up the quarter.
There's an 8-point lead already, and that's pretty impressive to say the least. And they're turning things on. FAP have the experience of having played in this wonderful competition before, as they go in search of more points. They're under a lot of pressure to actually drain those points and increase their tally on the scoreboards, but it's not happening just yet. There's a few issues there at the moment. They need to sort some things out.
Espoir Fukash are playing some really composed defense. They're not making any rash decision on offense, not being rushed, and right now they are making all the right moves.
Fast and furious play as there's Glory Bourbois now. He's getting nudged and taken out of the play. That's another foul. It's a second team foul already within 51 seconds for FAP. They hit 5 very early on in the first quarter. That will be a concern.
Yaga pushing quickly and just forcing the foul, and it's, like you said, second team foul picked up.
Wow, that's a good little steal there and a great opportunity. Oh, that was a big foul, and that's foul number 3. And look at that. That is, once again, a big concern because, you know, Fukash are just dominating at the moment. Just look at this, taken completely out.
Well, that was definitely the correct call. So referee had a look at the play and then called it unsportsmanlike and has scaled it up. So it's going to be 2 shots plus possession. And it didn't look like there was a real attempt on the ball. It looked like there was an intent to try and stop the dunk, but not in a way that was legal. And I think it was the right call. Just a tad bit aggressive.
Pierre Issomi of Yaoundé, the 32-year-old. And there we have more chances to pour in more points. Usher, have you been listening to what's been going on the bench for FAP? What's Francois Eyenge been saying? Because it's starting to move away. They're starting to increase their lead in a big way.
He's just saying they need to focus on their defense. Once they can play good defense, then they're able to stop Espoir Fukash, who are definitely enjoying a good run of scoring on the other side of the court. But it's a little bit tough for them right now. They're struggling, and like I said before, it is a physical game. Both teams are bringing good energy into the game. Let's see what FAP can, you know, react to in this second quarter.
Thank you very much, Asha. And yeah, they need to try and change their games and their tactics, because at the moment it is just, well, it's flowing perfectly. I think that Fukash, we talked about getting in the slipstream, Q. They are in the slipstream in a big way, but that's a big score as well. They needed to get some points, and Deshaun Morman is the man who's just drained 2.
But they really needed to just break that run, and now Morman has another chance here with numbers.
Unable to score, unable to drop in, but they gain possession once again. Good chance for an easy 3. An easy 3. Threes aren't easy, but when they do go in, they look so easy. That just came off the metal, and it is 20-30. 10-point advantage. Fukash going for more from downtown, this time coming off the metal. And the defensive rebound is good. They pick up possession once again, Q.
Just a couple of scoreless possessions here for Espoir Fukash. Nothing too concerning, but for FAP, a chance to just make some inroads back into that double-digit lead.
The range was off in a big way there for Morman, and Fukash once again picked the ball up, and it's Bob O'Neill gets the ball out. He's been on fire so far, this man Kasongo, unable to drop in and find his triple, and they're picking the ball up. So FAP need to go on a run, and if they can score points like that, they'll be very, very happy. That's a fine effort there from Issomi.
Nice work again, just composure and body control to get the 2 inside the paint.
Well, just getting his fingertips to that, and Ayaga and picking up possession. Getting his fingertips to that, and Ayaga and picking up possession. And here are FAP. Well, it was a double block, but the foul was committed, and it was Kasongo who's at fault there. So we'll go to the free throw line, and it will be a chance for FAP to turn things around a little bit and just reel in that lead.
August Kasongo, I mean, great to work on the defensive end to challenge the shot, maybe a tad bit aggressive, and you see that, acknowledging that perhaps just unintentionally got the face of Cedric Change. So he get a chance to go to the free throw line.
This is exactly what Coach Francois was talking about. Play good defense, and then you can figure out what to do on the offensive side. And so far, it's working for them on the last 2 possessions.
They needed that, really. I mean, within the first few minutes, you've seen a big turnaround. It got to a point where they had a double-figure lead. Fukash now just with an 8-point advantage, and that could be chopped down a little bit more as we see Kasongo just going to the bench. Nicely dropped in, perfectly delivered there from that man at Chamaton. Mwamba, 20 years of age, a former Mazembe player. That's a long-range effort coming in, but it doesn't fall. And another foul, and this time it is Fukash. I think that it's Mwamba who picks up the foul.
Mwamba just a tad bit aggressive on the rebound, not willing to let it go, and made it really easy for Morman to draw the foul.
See the body language of Francois Iyenga. Just calm down, you know, calm down. Just to, you know, keep control, but keep calm. You know, there's no need to throw yourself in. This is a good spell. It's a good run, Q, which is what you always talk about.
I don't want to keep going back to it, but basketball is a game of runs, and it's how you can weather those storms. And right now, it's still a very close game.
Well, there's another good block there, but they do keep possession, consolidating possession. Mwamba, a little bit of time just around the outside, getting possession back. Shot clock going down. It's into the last 5 seconds. Needs to get it up. It comes off the glass, off the rim, and back out. And again, scoreless phase of play. And another charge, the aggressive drive through, but the foul has been committed once again. You can see that this time it's Glory Bobo now, and is that foul number 3, I think, for the team from the DRC?
It is foul.
It is foul, foul number 3 for Espoir Fukash. Worrying. It's just 4 minutes gone in the second quarter.
Back to the free throw line, and it's going to be a telling factor, and you can see that both teams, again, I'm going to go back to that analogy, just two heavyweight fighters jabbing, because at this stage, there's very little to choose between the two, and the free throw line could ultimately become that difference.
Yeah, that might be the center stage, you know. It might be, it's not stage left, it's not stage right, it's center stage. That might be where the game will be won at the end of the day, because discipline playing an important part, or poor discipline, if you like. Look at that, it's been slapped out, but anyway, it was, they get possession, of course, FAP here. The communication between the players, some strong words between some of the FAP players.
Well, it's again, layup just gets by the defense, and the ball on a downwards path. As soon as it touches the backboard and the defense comes in, it's got to be a goaltend. You can count the bucket, and you get a timeout called on the floor. Espoir Fukash playing some really great basketball here, and I suppose it's a surprise considering the fact that they have not beaten FAP in any sort of open play prior to today.
Let's take a break. FAP 25, Espoir Fukash of the Democratic Republic of Congo 32 is attending events there for FAP that enabled Fukash to get a 7-point lead. It was down to 5 at one point, so they got some work to do, of course, FAP, because they started off quite brightly and moved into control in the early stages of the first quarter. Big battle in the paint there, Q. Bit of work to do to finish off this first half, but FAP will want to get themselves into that zone and try and get more possession.
I was literally about to talk about this man being on the bench. And Almeida was the hot hand in the first quarter and has been sitting for a while, and they've got him back out there, and that might have an impact on the offensive end for FAP.
There's a good chance for a mid-range too coming in from Mormon, but it comes back off the metal, picked up once again by Almeida. Almeida leaving the ball for Ayaga. They got their A-listers on the court to after the small timeout there.
I like that drive by Ayaga on the breakdown. Read what the defense was giving him and liked his matchup, put it on the floor, crossed him over, and was able to get to the free throw line again. Ayaga is impacting the game slowly but surely, using his size and his presence and his athleticism at the rim. And it's going to be interesting. Got to keep an eye on him. Cameroon international. Ayaga is going to rely on some of that here down the stretch.
6-point lead. FAP trying to reduce the arrears. One more shot for this man here. Ayaga went through the BAL qualifiers with Manga Sports in Gabon before switching his allegiance over to FAP back home in Cameroon. And a wonderful African nation on the West Central Africa. If you ever get the chance to go, because it's a wonderful country to visit, I can promise you that. From Douala to Yaoundé into the wonderful national parks and that west coast to the Gulf of Guinea. And that's a good chance for two. That's a wonderful drive, very aggressive play. Really needed to score that, of course. Big statement there for FAP.
Like the leadership, like the read again. Oh, another fast break point for FAP. Moment, right, doing good work under the rim.
And they're just, oh, that's a wonderful pass. Look at that, straight underneath and in the paint. And then the score there from Kapongo. But beautiful pass, good vision.
Both teams so composed right now, and it's literally on a knife edge.
29-34, you can see the number of assists for Espoir Fukash, the number of those dynamic, those slick passes, the ones that we go, wow, look at that, where did that come from? How did he see that? Brilliant vision. And that's a wonderful drive and layup as well. Good score there coming in from that man Mormon. Just well, he's adding numbers to his stats and doing pretty well. He gets himself into double figures.
He's definitely had an impact, and they have numbers here on the fast break.
Ball comes out, great chance. Almeida, of course, he gets past the two defenders. His attempt for a mid shot, just a floater over the top, but it comes off the metal. The foul's been committed. And I think that is foul number 5, team foul number 5, I believe. Is that correct, Usher? I think
yes, it is. Foul trouble for Espoir Fukash.
That man Byers gets called for the foul. Just laid on it and right underneath.
Yeah, the free throw line, of course, coming to the fore once again. It's a 3-point game. And when you see FAP just chewing away at that lead, you know, to try and sort of get it back and get themselves back into a good position. There's another change, another player coming off the bench. This time it's Jeremy Mandiangu who's going to come on it and try and stir things up a little bit as that man there, Emmanuel Okorafor, goes off, the 17-year-old Nigerian.
And on the other side for FAP, Mormon looking in a bit of trouble.
It's an easy two, of course, a wonderful pass, quickly up court to find Kapongo, who's been very strong and very slick and very present tonight in this opening encounter, giving the ball away. Fukash on the attack into the paint, ball comes out, good use of the players outside in position. Long-range shot from, oh, it's a beautiful drop in. A triple there down the right-hand side from that man, Raleigh Fula.
Lovely play. It's great ball movement, finding the open shooter in the corner, and Fula knocks down the long-range effort.
Ayaga waiting for support. He just finds it with that man, Espoir picks the ball up. Any options there on the outside of the arc? It's been picked up. Mid-range shot, that shot clock's gone down. You've got to be careful. Less than 1 second to go, and it's all over. It's Espoir who get possession.
They're winning the smaller battles right now, Espoir Fukash, and just making their possessions count.
Like that, Q, like that. You are on cue every single time. That's a great score. You see Jeremy Mandiangu getting his first points of this encounter with 2:50 left on the clock.
Great work again, coming from the defensive end.
He's an absolute delight, you know, charging through the paint, a very aggressive play, and Almeida working his magic, and a little bit of extra support play there from Ty-J Byers, who's getting his first minutes on court tonight.
Byers using a lot of that length. He stands at 2'11". He spent some time in the United States, obviously. At the Morgan State Bears, didn't put up really great numbers. They don't really tell you too much about his ability on the floor. 0.8 points, 2.8 rebounds, and there's a reason they have him here on the floor. You can't teach height, as they say, and that 2'11", another left-handed scorer for FAP.
Spent a bit of time in Mexico as well, didn't he, the American, in here? So be able to communicate with one of the 3 referees that we've got on the court tonight. And there he is, Byers getting his first points tonight. Big
7
player
rebounds.
as well. 33-40. And as you can see, well, they're on 5 team fouls now. Espoir Fukash need to be a little bit careful, sitting on a 7-point lead, which is already a nice little cushion. It's very comfortable in the where they are going into the break. But there's an offensive foul, just a little charge. And
he stepped out of bounds.
Oh, he stepped out of bounds, sorry.
Stepped out of the bounds, yeah.
So they pick up possession, FAP. There it is, you can see it from the replay. 8-point lead. Time running out, 2:27 left of this first half. And FAP taking the ball forward. You've got Cedric Changwe, former Manga player as well. Ball comes out and there's a chance to, well, there's a travel call there. And a couple of little errors that are seeping into the game here. It's not that great, is it?
Yeah, just unforced errors by both teams here as we get closer and closer to the final 2 minutes. And right about now, you want to emphasize execution and try and maximize each possession. And they got to do that just to close out the half in style.
Well, that's just a giveaway. That is, and a great chance for a layup for 2. And it's been dropped in. Perfect score there from Pierre Assome. He just said, I'll take that. That's a freebie for me. I'll just find the bucket big time.
And he found it because of the ability to read the pass coming into the passing lane.
Good work, good passing, a little bit of space, and there's a chance for a big score from down the left-hand side. Well, there's the travel call there. Was it, they get possession back as we've got 1:45 left on the clock.
They do all the hard work. That was a great read, anticipating the pass from Almeida. And that's just so much anticipation and then rewarding himself by getting the easy two-handed, or rather left-hand layup.
And a couple of changes that are taking place for the FAP bench with Francois Ayenge just making that call, trying to get some key points. Oh, Almeida just missing completely. His range looks up in the air. He's very frustrated there, isn't he?
Well, he's gone a little bit off the boil. Almeida spent a long time on the bench, come back in, and has just looked a step behind the play.
Work very well done by Mwamba, you know, showing great experience and great ability to understand that he was being followed by 2 players, but they get possession back, FAP, and a chance to get a 3-pointer. Here's Almeida. Almeida with a wonderful 3-pointer, and that is a big score with 1:15 left on the clock. It's 38 points for FAP, 41 for Fukash, and just a 3-point game. Long-range effort there coming in. Doesn't find its range from Kasongo.
Almeida is looking for it here for FAP.
Well, they could get a 3-pointer. Oh, that's a wild pass, and that's not a good one. Almeida was just darting down that right flank, but it wasn't the right pass, was it? Coming in just a little bit too hard from Akumenzo.
He has all 5 of FAP's long-range shots, and that was him in the short corner again, wide open. And at this stage, I think you've got to start changing your coverages around this long-range shooting for someone else to take the shots from the outside.
It's a bit of a topsy-turvy little encounter to get us get day 2 off the ground. Very exciting, an enthralling encounter between 2 teams who are basically showing us what they're capable of doing. This is going to be a very interesting Nile conference here. Second conference, of course, in season 2 after the one in Dakar, which was riveting in itself. 38-41, and just over 30 seconds to go.
Again, had an opportunity for a 2-for-1. I don't think they're going to go too early in the shot clock. They do go.
The mid-range shot not good enough, but excellent rebound coverage from Ayaga, and that's it's 40 points for FAP, 41 for Espoir, who gets the last call at the end of this first half.
Fukash should hold for this last shot, Robbie.
Of course. A few seconds remaining. The ball comes out. A good opportunity here, and it's a 3-shot attempt there. It comes to nothing. They got a chance. Oh, there's not enough time on the clock, so it will be Espoir Fukash who have the lead going into the locker room after the first half of this opening encounter, day 2. Riveting, absolutely fascinating battle taking place. It's a topsy-turvy roller coaster ride. It's FAP 40, Espoir Fukash 41. It's time for a break. We'll be back in a few moments' time for more excitement here in Cairo. FAP of Cameroon in action here, trying to find some points, and they managed to, well, they don't get the points there, but 40-41 is the scoreline here going into the third quarter. Espoir Fukash of the Democratic Republic of Congo. This is their opening game of the BAL-Africa League. We're absolutely loving it here, and it's been a frenetic start to this competition already. Zamalek victorious last night. Second game here now, and look at this. Q is my man next to me. Usher's with me. We're all here, the whole crew, and that is a big long-range shot that comes off the metal. Q, it's your time.
There's just so much happening. There's very little to choose between these two teams. That gotta look out for, you know, just what adjustments were made at halftime, and I suspect that there'll be increased coverage on the three-point shot, and we'll see if FAP can break down this really great Fukash defense.
There's Mormon trying to drop in for a pair of points there, but you can see that there was, they'll get possession back.
That's a bit worrying for Espoir Fukash. Kasongo with his third foul very early on in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think with Asher, thanks, and I honestly think that they'll be really careful with their discipline. Of course, it's something that you really don't want to see. The team fouls just coming in. They were raining in, weren't they, in a big way. There's another fall just slipping over. He was on the ground at that point, wasn't he, Rolly Fuller?
He was definitely on the ground, and the pass was great. It's just, I think what we are seeing is a different emphasis here from FAP. They pounded the ball inside. Almeida going through the contact, and clumsy fall to the ground. Ayaga get another opportunity at the free throw line. He's been pretty good, 6 of 6, 100% from out there, and we want to keep that going here in the second half.
FAP have now restored parity. Just over a minute into the third quarter, and they get a chance to move ahead for the first time in quite a long time. In fact, that second quarter was all about Fukash, and now it's that man who is well, been playing a pivotal role for FAP, Ayaga. And just look at this. It's just back-to-back fouls. This is not good for Fukash. They need to be very careful.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of danger time, and got to come out in the third quarter with intent, and we've seen the importance of the third quarter out in the Sahara Conference in a couple of those games. Got to start well coming into the second half.
And I think that's Shungu's third foul as well. So there's 3 players with 3 fouls now. Not ideal for Espoir Fukash. Here is FAP trying to go for, well, it was a wild, the arms went up in the air there for Mormon. He's going, whoa, well, how did that happen? Well, it happened. Losing possession. Fukash, we're all level at 41 points apiece. The the uptown shot there just not finding its range, bouncing off, and it will be FAP who pick up possession.
Both teams have got to tighten up execution here at the start of the third.
Good opportunity for 3. It's a beautiful score that came, and it was a big score there from Deshaun Mormon, who's doing the damage once again and showing us what he's capable of doing.
That nice make by Mormon was wide open. 13 points now he's managed to accumulate, and that's his first one from outside.
FAP with a 3-point lead. And another foul that's been committed, foul number 4 for Espoir Fukash. That's serious trouble. This is, well, just under 8 minutes. It was a reverse scenario for FAP. The discipline a lot better for FAP this time at the start of the third quarter.
Tamatong just putting a hand out and committing the foul on Almeida. And this is an experienced team. FAP will take advantage of this foul count.
Oh, they didn't make the quarterfinals for in the first edition of the BAL for nothing, did they? Good opportunity. Oh, he just came through and got in the way, and he's absolutely livid with that call, Kasongo, because that means it's foul number 4, and he's claiming that well, he didn't make any contact. We'll see this on the replay. Look there, Q.
Well, they're going to have a look at it on the replay as well, and the referee's going to go and confirm exactly what happened, triggering the instant replay system, and it'll be interesting to see what they come up with, because it is a big moment in the game, Robbie.
Absolutely, and I think that
Well, you can see the discussions taking place there, and it's Hortensia Sanchez Carrizales of Mexico going over and trying to and checking out the replay there to assess the situation. Big call. If he gets 4 fouls, then that's going to prove to be a thorn in their side going in the early stages of the third quarter.
And it's not only the foul call, it's also the fact that he was in the act of shooting, so he'll go to the line and shoot 3.
Yeah, and we're gonna catch up with Usher. Usher, your thoughts on this? Is it a little bit problematic for a team who are playing in their first BAL?
It's a tough call there, but a big moment also for Hortensia, who is also the crew chief, has a lot of experience in the NBA G League that she's bringing to the BAL, and she's helped by Mbaise from Senegal, and there it is. She's about to tell us what her final decision is.
And it's just being determined now. Let's see what the call is. She's seen the replay, she's assessed the situation, and it is a foul. You can see the 6 has gone up, of course, and we know it's that man there, Bobo Kasongo, the 31-year-old, who's a very important member of this Fukash team, picks up foul number 4.
Yeah, leading scorer, Kasongo with his 14 points, now a 4th foul, and also importantly, a chance at the free throw line for Jack Kapongo.
And there's clarification there from Hortensia Sanchez Carrizales with that man Kasongo, just to explain. And you know, if there was contact, there was contact. You see the replay, you've seen it, it's a done deal, right?
And he actually had just signaled to her on the possession prior to that, saying that I recognize, yes, I fouled, and that was his 3rd foul. And it's 4 now. Tough call for Raven Mwimba, the coach of Espoir Fukash, former player of the Democratic Republic of Congo. He's bringing immense experience to this team and the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Asher. And, you know, they're going to have to lean on Rolly Fula. We know one of the experienced players. Of course, he was the MVP playing against AS Police of Mali in the qualification round, which enabled them to get where they are. And he played, I mean, he's a very inspirational player. They need to lean on a player like him to get themselves those points, to get themselves the leadership that they had with that man, Kasongo, on court.
Yeah, they're going to have to find alternative sources of scoring and inspiration on the floor. And again, a couple more possessions that have been tight. And you can see the desire, the hustle play moment on the floor. A whole bunch of players come in. And even coaches have got to get involved. 6-point game. It's poised on a knife edge.
Let's hope that it's not as complicated as finding the source of the Nile back in the 15th century, you know. There are solutions out there, definitely solutions. But the problem is that when you make errors like that, that's when you know that things are not going right. They've got to turn things around here, Q, in a big way.
Again, it's almost an inexcusable mistake, that 8-second violation. Got to be aware of game clock and game situation, turnover made.
Yeah, and the focus, it's all about the focus, you know. It's a big game, of course, you know, just knowing this is not Zamalek. Zamalek have the home advantage. They might be deemed as the favorites. All of the teams that are participating in this MAL conference are capable of qualifying. Just remember that. They're here for a reason, and there's another foul. And I'm just trying to see who picked that up, because it might be, I think it's some Packer, isn't it, who's got his 3rd foul for Fukash.
It is his 3rd foul, indeed.
Fouls starting to pile up now, and it's going to get to a stage where foul management is going to become part of the Espoir Fukash DNA, because keeping players on the floor and rotating them, looking at their foul count. Meanwhile, FAP continue to knock down free throws and punish from the free throw line.
Just remember, Q, foul frenzy will give you nightmares at night, okay? It's as simple as that, and we know that. Misses the 2nd, but you can see there's a 7-point lead now for FAP. The experience of them playing in the BAL in the first season has basically given them a little step up because they know how to deal with these situations. They also need to Well, there's a call there going against Fukash. You know, everything's going against them. Surely they've got to call a timeout pretty soon, you know, to just get themselves reset. They need to reorganize themselves.
Yeah, they've taken a step back, starting out this third quarter. Only a single point scored by Espoir Fukash, and FAP have just been grinding it out, possession by possession.
Wangmere getting the ball out into the hands of Changwe. It's a long-range shot that comes back off the metal. This could be a moment. That support pass has been picked up straight away. The mid-range shot. Luckily for Fukash, they don't get it. For that man, Mormon could have extended his tally, but didn't. And again, losing possession. That shouldn't be like that. A great opportunity to try and get the two, and the two have dropped perfectly there. This time, Cedric Changwe does get his score.
It's like they've switched their roles coming out here in the second half, because FAP are doing all the great work on defense.
Bring it on. How about that for a big score? Needed that, and that was so important for them. It's Ben Lunga, the man that just 20 years of age, dropping in for a three-pointer that's basically given them a little bit of light when they were going through a difficult stretch.
First field goal of the third quarter, and it was contested. It was a tough shot. Ilunga, with the big man coming out, rips the net from long range.
That was massive, wasn't it? It was massive. It was like a sort of, you know, dropping it in from, you know, it came out of the sky. In she goes. It's a 50-point to 44 scenario here. 6 points, 6 minutes left on the clock with a 7-second additive there. We're going to take a break, back in a couple of moments. We are back in business, and we're back in business here at the Hassan Mustafa Sports Hall. It's a 6-point game between Cameroon's FAP and the DRC's Espoir Fukash, of course, Democratic Republic of Congo. We've also got Congo Brazzaville, which borders, it's the other side of the beautiful Congo River, which is the lifeline of the Congo rainforests, of course, in Central Africa, as we see Fukash trying to dart around and try and find a way through. Very complicated, picked up. He's got loads of time. Almeida drops it in for three. That is a score. That is a triple, and a very important triple. Nearly snatches the ball as well.
Long-range accession. Almeida continues to pile on the points from the perimeter, and both teams good defensive possessions, but it was Almeida who basically put an exclamation mark on it with that long-range three.
That's a sumptuous attacking and using those crucial minutes on court and scoring.
He's having a great quarter as Changwe, and they've gone to him, able to create some of the offense. He's got 7 points.
And we're going to go to Usher, because I know that Usher's been, she's been spying down there at Fukash and finding out what's going on. Usher, please give us something.
Well, the coach, Raven Mwimba, is emphasizing on how much they need to play as a team. He feels that they've been individualistic in everything they've been doing since the third quarter started, and he's emphasizing, let's play defense, let's play together, communicate. Let's see if they'll execute on this possession on defense.
Chris Abaka with his 4 fouls. There's 2 players with 4 fouls with just under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Thanks very much for that, Usher. Vital information, of course. Play as a team, you know, work together, communicate. It's not rocket science, is it, Hugh?
No, not at all, and I think it's a good call. Just increase the ability, or the team's ability to score by giving up a good shot for a great shot.
It's the drive, but you're just driving into no man's land. Too much traffic there, and a good opportunity, or a bit of a slip there. And FAP getting the ball out. Loads of time for a big 3. Comes off the metal, and it's been retrieved there by Fukash. And they get the ball back, in fact, as he's down on the ground. Let's hope that that's holding the left ankle. That is not good for that man at Mormon, who's been, well, very important for FAP tonight.
Mormon on that drive, I'm not sure if he stepped on a foot or not, but I did see the left ankle just shivered a little bit. And
well, the team doctor is having a see at it, trying to provide first aid.
And it was strange, it was his right foot that he actually trod on a player's foot, and then afterwards he's holding his left ankle. So I don't know
It is his left ankle. He's left the court hoping on his
look at this,
right
the lefty,
foot.
absolutely good shot. Okay, and thanks to the team who've managed to, you know, freeze.
Capture that moment.
Yeah, freeze it and let us see exactly what it's like. But well, let's hope that it's not too serious. Of course, that wouldn't be a good thing.
No, he's going to play a big role for FAP, especially later on in this conference play, and he's been outstanding for them so far.
There's Espoir with a try, with an attempt at three. They get the ball back. It's Changwei. Espoir again, back out to Almeida. Well, he knows how to get rid of defenders, and he does it so well on that occasion, and able to produce the points from mid-range. And Fukash picking possession up. They need to get some points on the scoreboard, and they need to get it quickly. Good offensive rebound. Get rid of the defender. Almeida taken out of the equation. It's a long-range shot. It's gone right over the top, and that's not ideal for Bourbonnel.
They've just lost their rhythm right now. Espoir Fukash, they got a good shot on the first possession and got the second chance opportunity, but were not able to convert.
You know, you have to nail those points. You have to get those points on the scoreboard, because otherwise you've got a team who've got experience. He's trying so hard. You know, he's rising up to try and get himself a little bit of light around Alexis Wangmene. But he's a very strong player, isn't he? And gets himself the chance to drop a couple of points in from the free throw line.
Well, they certainly brought him in for his size, Wangmene, because he's got this great G-League experience that he brings, especially inside the paint, and it's got to be his ability to rebound and play physically inside there.
Well, just a quick update from here. Deshaun has been able to walk on his left foot as they try to observe the progress there. Still trying to see if they can apply some ice. I'll keep you updated, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Asha. That's fantastic. And Wangmene, you talked about it. He's a former Longhorn, Texas Longhorn. And of course, lots of amazing players who have gone, who played at who've been a Longhorn, who've gone on to have incredible careers. Look at this wonderful passing in the paint, and able to finish off their move, 55-44. And it's a big lead for FAP. They need to exploit that and sit on that. 2:46 left on the clock. The ball comes out. Almeida, loads of time, but his shot just not falling. But look at that. It's really good, isn't it? And that basically underlines his importance in this team. Wangmene.
The block on the defensive end for FAP, and that was Yaga. And coming back on the other end, talking about Wangmene, but here, again, just look at the anticipation on the defensive end. Yaga has been pretty great. His 9 points, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, and you can count the block shot there to that stat sheet as well. And we go back to Wangmene, and you were talking about it, Robbie, his physical presence inside the paint, and you just see it. He's a big body that you struggle to keep out of that painted area.
He's big enough to block out the lights. I mean, you know, we are talking about, you know, a big, bulky player who's capable of making his mark. Every team needs one. He's their man. 58-44.
Stands at 204, 102 kilograms. And big body, big frame indeed.
You know, he was actually spotted for a Basketball Without Borders camp back in the day, as they try and get some points again, but they're unable to do anything. That will be a foul, and the foul will be, it was committed there by Cedric Changwei. So it just goes to show, you know, he's 33 years of age. Got spotted at a camp, a BWB camp, and then got this wonderful career, and now he's coming back to offer himself as a key component in the FAP's bid to try and go a little bit further, or in fact all the way in the second season here.
They do love him out there in Houston, Texas, because that's where a lot of where his career was. Spent time with the Austin Spurs in the development league, and then when it became the G League, and he came from the G League here to come and try and lend his expertise to this FAP team.
Q, knowledge is power.
It sure is.
And you've got it. Another foul. You can see there was contact on the wrist there as he went up for the shot. And 5 team fouls there for Fukash, which hasn't changed. 3 for FAP now, and a 14-point lead. It's a big lead, isn't it? But it's up to Fukash to get back into this.
When they look at the stat sheet, Fukash 5 of 5 from the free throw line, but what they've done is they've allowed FAP to get to that free throw line an astonishing 26 times.
What a block. Almeida in for 3. Comes off the metal as a chance to try and get possession back. There's a 3-on-2 here of all the control, just letting him down, and they dispossessed. There's Ben Lunga unable to keep his hands on that ball.
Another defensive play, and that's just, again, slightly behind, but athleticism allows him to come on over and the chase down block. And defense has certainly been the calling card for FAP. Here, Cedric Esome playing his role.
Now Ulrich Jomche coming on, the 16-year-old. He is 6'9", and he's come through the NBA, the BAL Elevate program, NBA Academy, of course. It's working hand in hand to try and groom and create these wonderful players, which it already has, of course. It's a great success story for these youngsters. And look at the size of this guy. Great prospect, really, really great future ahead of him.
We've seen some really big bodies come through this Elevate program, and they do help in the forward position. It shows that the selection criteria and the processes that they go by trying to create and build the basketball on the continent is working, and this is another great example of that, and hopefully he'll be able to add some value to his team here.
It's all about opportunities, isn't it, Usher?
Yes, it is about the opportunities. We've already seen some good names. We keep talking about Babacar Sané, who played for Duke of Senegal, and obviously Mbaye from Slack of Guinea, who did an incredible job helping them qualify for the playoffs next month in Kigali.
And the list is very long, and you know, it's great because these are just prospects, not just on the basketball court, but for in their life. And you know, it's not just about basketball; it's about the bigger picture. Wonderful opportunities.
It's so much more, and I'm going to say it one more time, it's about the club culture, playing alongside professionals, understanding what a career could look like, playing for a specific team, and you learn it on the premier platform for basketball on the continent at the BAL-Africa League in some really great professional environments.
1:21 left on the clock, and FAP just in cruise control. Jomche with a chance to get his shot in. It's a little bit short on that occasion for the 16-year-old.
He's being allowed some freedom. Is Jomche, and defense again for FAP.
And it's an easy score, isn't it? You can see Cyril Ahly, the 29-year-old from Yaoundé.
It's been a forgetful a third quarter that Espoir Fukash we just want to forget, and hopefully just come out of that timeout or third quarter break and improve on their performance.
There's a little bit of a fumble there, finally picked up by FAP. Everybody's not getting their hands on the ball for a moment. A big drive through the middle, and it's a wonderful, wonderful layup. Just Essom with the soft touch and the 2 points. And now it's a 16-point lead here for the team from Cameroon.
They've held Fukash to 5 points in this quarter. It's been tough going.
But what a brilliant score that was, and it was about time they needed to get it. Jonathan Shimbao is the man who managed to get his first points tonight.
The captain on the floor, and he's going to try and floor lead the best way that he can.
Long-range shot coming in, another three-point attempt. This time the triple doesn't fall, and it's picked up by Fukash, and well, just coming off his feet there, Jomche. So looks like they'll get possession, and Fukash, but it doesn't matter because it's the end of the third quarter. Look at this scenario here. It's a big lead for FAP. Now the team from Cameroon leading Espoir Fukash of the Democratic Republic of Congo 62-48. We'll be back after a little break. Yes, we're back here at the Hassan Mustafa Sports Hall in Cairo, Egypt. It is the Nile Conference, and this is the summary, of course, from after 3 quarters of this battle between FAP and Espoir Fukash of the Democratic Republic of Congo here.
Well, it's really been a struggle from the field. Both teams low 30s for their field goal percentage. They've turned the ball over a couple of times too many, and we've seen some really great three-point shooting. But one stat that's not there are the attempts from the free throw line, and that is where FAP have taken the most advantage, because they've gone to the free throw line 26 times and converted it at 65%.
Fukash really need to get some points. They really need to just find that confidence. The confidence that element will change their mindset. The mindset needs to be sorted. Usher, did you manage to listen in to any of the team talks from the coaches with the players just a couple of moments ago? I'm sure that you did, because you're everywhere.
Yes, I did, but I'm just going to quickly give you an injury update. Deshaun Lamar Moman has been worked on, I should say. He's being given some first aid, and it's a grade 1 injury to his left ankle. There's been a question to the coach, Francois Inyagi, whether he wants him to come back onto the floor or rest for the rest of this game, and the decision is he'll be back.
He's coming back. He's a miracle man, and it's going to be great to have him back on the court. Norman, of course, a little bit of strapping. You know, these kids, they can get away. They're made of elastic, right, Q?
And he also emphasizes the importance of a win. Every single win in a conference matters, and picking up wins in the BAL-Africa League is tough going, as we've seen.
Going for a 3-pointer here. It's a long-range effort. There's a good rebound. A little bit of traffic there, and the pass is not good. It's been picked up, and a good chance for the captain, who does really well. There's the tip in there, and well, really strong drive through there coming in from Etienne Tamatong.
It was his anticipation on the defensive end, reading the passing lane and then going at the chest of the defender. And the whistle comes again. And another chance for FAP at the free throw line.
$62 points to 50, and FAP just trying to work their magic, get themselves that big lead once again.
Tamatong had averaged about 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 1.8 assists in the 2021 campaign. And shot 80% from the free throw line.
Taking the ball up, Mwamba. Now, of course, we'll have Kasongo come on at 1 point, and that's going to be an important moment. Around the back attempt at a pass wasn't the right move, and struggling to control. That's a very good ball that comes back to Chomche. Chomche, under a little bit of pressure, does really well. Good strength that enables him to get his pass back out. And to Esome, long-range shot coming off the metal, and it's been retrieved. Really good work. Don't make a wild pass. Fukash consolidating possession as they take it forward once again with Mwamba, just calming things down for a moment.
They've had 20 turnovers, have Espoir Fukash, and that number won't win you too many basketball games.
The attempt by the 20-year-old Arsene Mwamba, unable to drop in the 2 to just reduce the arrears. Drive down into the corner. It's not a brilliant pass. It gives them opportunity to try and attack and push forward, but once again they win the ball back. FAP, long-range effort here from out wide, and it is absolutely sensational there. Tamatong is the man, dropping in for 3, 67-50.
Big-time shot, because that could have swung the game a little bit on that steal, and timely turnover turns into a 3-point shot from the outside. And every time Espoir Fukash threaten, there's an answer from FAP.
Yeah, and that's just underlining their experience in this competition and playing international basketball, of course, as we see Emmanuel Shungu down on the ground. Just got swatted down by Ulrich Chomche, the 16-year-old giant, who's trying to make his mark defensively, showing what he's capable of doing. But obviously, Shungu down on the ground. Let's hope that we haven't got a second injury that's too bad.
Take a little bit of time, but it doesn't look like it's too serious. But we will wait and allow the medical team to assess. But he gets to the floor, or he gets back to his feet gingerly, and we'll take a walk, a nice baseline spin, and then just hard contact. Chomche coming in from behind it, and that was the steal that turned into the open three-pointer. And it's been some really great defensive work by FAP. Tamatong wide open, knocked down the jumper.
You've got Jack Kapongo, who's come on, and they're playing his first minutes of this encounter with 7:45 left on the clock. The first shot's good. It's dropped in there by Emmanuel Okorafor, who is the 17-year-old Nigerian. Again, getting minutes on the court, valuable minutes, just like Ulrich Chomche. These are the guys, these are the future players of African basketball.
Well, he's got 15 minutes on the floor, Okorafor, and he's been valuable inside the paint.
Comes out to Akomenzo, former Condor player, the Yaoundé Giants player. Condor, one of the top teams in Cameroon, of course, in the elite Monsieur, which is the elite men's. Oh, wonderfully done, and look at that for a score. Okorafor producing a wonderful little hook over the top. Fukash. It's an offensive foul. He's just charged into Cyril Liali, knocking him over, giving the ball back to FAP.
Well, this game just in danger of running away right now from Espoir Fukash, and it's again another one of those dreaded turnovers, and they're going to try now, and bringing the changes is Coach Raven Mwimba, just trying to find some answers. Back in comes Kasongo with his 4 fouls. They're going to try and roll the dice here.
And Isungu is back as well. He's got some ice treatment on the head. He's back on court.
FAP. Around the outside. Pass in the inside. Just dropping it in the basket. Just a little bit too... There's just too much traffic there, and Fukash, I think they win back possession. That was good hassling, hounding the man with the ball in his hands. A little bit complicated, of course, when you got 3 defenders and there's no way out.
The defense really made Byers get into some trouble. There were 3 Fukash defenders around him, and just a scramble for the basketball.
Good chance for a mid-range 2. And FAP pick up possession. Keep an eye on the team foul count, but it's quite low unexpectedly at the start of the 4th quarter, although it's just gone up to 3. So I think we get a better understanding of how this game has been.
It's been whistle heavy as far as Fukash are concerned. They've just drawn too many fouls.
Comenzo trying to find his way through. His attempt to use the backboard to drop it in comes to nothing. Another chance is Tamatong, and a good block that was, and a good chance for Fukash as they go around the outside. Picked up there, of course, by that man Fula. Fula just a little bit off the radar. Such an important player, capable of playing MVP performances. There's the offensive charge, losing possession again. And once again, we find that this time it's Shungu who just gives the ball back to FAP.
It's been certainly a tale of two halves, and this is Tamatong coming inside, and some good defense there by Espoir Fukash, allowing Fuller to get out on the break. But again, no conversion on that possession, and we stay at 19.
I'm going to call it a tale of 4 quarters.
4 quarters.
$69.50, 5:50 left for this opening encounter here, Basketball Africa League Season 2. And long mid-range shot going over the top from Akomenzo. Well, that's a good attempt. Look at that. That's a foul, definitely a foul, and it's going to be Fukash who will get the chance to go to the free throw line. And team foul number 2 for FAP.
We haven't seen enough of these forays into the paint, but every time they put the ball on the floor, FAP have been in and around the area where the ball gets bounced, and they've managed to tip it away a couple of times, forcing those turnovers. First time we've actually seen a dribble penetration into the paint work successfully in a long while for FAP. I mean, rather for Espoir Fukash.
Narcisse Mbanza, the Canadian.
Quiet game from Mbanza. Struggled from the field. Has only been on the floor for 12 minutes prior to this entry.
On the rebound, defensive rebound, just picked up by Oko Menzo. Shot doesn't go. And it's a good attempt at three, but not good enough for it to put the points on the board.
You push in the back, and another foul, but it's going to go obviously the way of Tamatong. It's only his first foul, third team foul for FAP.
69-50. That's the scoreline so far, and we got another clash coming up just afterwards, of course, because we have Petro Rwanda, semi-finalists in season one, up against Cape Town of South Africa, of course. Looking forward to the Tigers and how they enter the fray and show us what they're capable of doing. Of course, being a South African, Q, you will know a lot about this team and their first adventure in this wonderful competition.
It's going to be an interesting one indeed. We've seen the debutants struggle here in terms of Espoir Fukash, and being objective, it's just going to be interesting to see what happens between the Tigers and the strong Angolans.
That's a fantastic three-pointer, and Cyril Liale drops in and pushes them past the 70-point bracket, 72-52. It's a 20-point lead for the first time tonight, and there's a chance. That was a nice pass, excellent use of the hands to get the ball in, but they couldn't trade it. But that has got in, and there is an important score for Rolly Fuller, because we haven't really seen too much of that man there, and he gets himself, I think he's up into double figures.
He does take himself into double figures on that make. But it's been a tough afternoon, or rather tough evening for Fuller and Fukash.
And again, it's a long-range shot, and it just rushes the front side of the ring. It's not a good score. It comes to nothing, 72-55, and I think we've got is that a timeout call, I think, from FAP. And we will take a break, and we'll come back 72-55 with what, 4 minutes left to play here in Cairo. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to the Hassan Mustafa Sports Hall in Cairo. We have 4 minutes left to play. It's FAP of Cameroon, 72 with BC Espoir Fukash of the DRC. Democratic Republic of Congo, and there he is once again, trying to get himself his long-range shot. It comes to nothing. He's been inspirational for Fukash Kasongo, but he can't find his range on that occasion. This man has been on fire. His shot just comes off the metal. Yeah, I'm talking about Almeida, of course, of Cape Verde. Nice little pass. Well, it's not as good as it should have been. Not correct, not rightly in his path.
Well, we've seen the value of defense here, and they always talk about defense winning championships, and I think that's been the calling card for FAP. And right on cue, a block shot comes up, and they have a chance to get out in transition again.
Almeida going high off the backboard for 2 points, and he has provided us with some fantastic basketball tonight. He's up to 20 points. That's a really, really good pass as well. And I think that is a foul. You can see Glory Bobonel just going down. The hand goes up, of course. He knows that he committed it. It is that man, Byers.
Yeah, Byers was caught behind, and that was the block that led to the open bucket for Almeida. And again, defense, the calling card. Byers coming in late, and contact on the body. And so a chance at the free throw line for Glory Bobonel.
Yeah, one of 3 players on 4 fouls.
Bobonel, 2 of 8 from the field, and 25%, just echoing the struggles of his team from the field this evening.
Yeah, we're gonna see exactly how they're gonna use this the last few minutes and try and get themselves back into this Espoir Fukash. 17 points down. There's still lots of basketball to be played, but they've got to get possession. They've got to press. They've got to really try and get hold of the ball.
FAP will try and go deep into the shot clock like they did on that possession. You know, burn as much game clock as possible going down the stretch.
And, well, just losing possession there, just unable to keep hold of it, Chris and Packer. And I think Pierre Tankua is about to come on as well for FAP. Almeida again into the paint. Oh, it's beautifully done, but the points aren't drained.
Gets called for the little chicken wing on the spin. And referee right there to make the call, so the offensive foul called.
Just the left arm just on Bobo Kasongo. Even if you manage to get past your man, you can't just like sort of fling him down here, get him out of the way. You got to be careful. Here he is, Kasongo once again. That's just he didn't have the soft touch on that occasion. The rebound, another rebound, and approaching the last 2 minutes. And a charge coming through. It's a big one as well from Mbaka. He draws the foul straight up to the free throw line once again.
Different energy here by Espoir Fukash. Just like there's been a shift in the last minute or so. See them get more active in and around the rim, and there's a nice hustle play that results in the foul or the free throw line opportunity again.
And Mbaka dropping in the first. 74-58. Just losing possession there, and they give the ball back to Espoir Fukash. Just a little bit too quick on the reaction. Two players going for the same ball, kind of.
A couple of quick threes here, and Espoir Fukash could be right back in this.
They've got to turn that possession into points. Kirasome. On court, Fukash. And there he is. Trying to deliver the shot from out wide from Kasongo.
And that sums up, he's a little bit frustrated because the defense is right there. He went to the short corner, and that's one of his preferred areas. Contested, and it forced the shot off the backboard.
Picked up by the 16-year-old Chumche. Into the paint. Almeida trying to tip the ball in. Comes to nothing. Picked up and taken out by Fuller. Fuller on his own. The pass. See I think that what we're lacking here in this Fukash team is a little bit of extra time spent together on court, because you can just see that it's not as automatic as you'd like to see. It'll come in time. You know, they'll use this, they'll analyze it, and they'll get back into their next game. But at the moment, the way that they're looking is that those final passes, just reading what your teammates are doing and where they're going, is going to be important for them to understand.
And remember, this is a team that they have not beaten in group play, and FAP were undefeated. They were 6-0 coming into this conference, so they'll know how to win.
And they'll know how to win with a player like that on fire. Almeida with a beautiful three-pointer, triple there, and that's a good reaction. Very fast transition as we approach the final minute. 77-58. That goes up to 60. Almeida.
With them taking this time off the shot clock, it's pretty much going to be done and dusted, and it's going to be job well done as far as FAP are concerned. They fought hard. It was a one-point game at halftime, Robbie, and you know the second half really just something that led to disappointment. Nice defensive work by the young man, Chomche.
Chomche, of course, the 16-year-old coming back. He didn't manage to get his 3 points earlier on. The block was sensational. Excellent stuff. Almeida at the other end, of course, working really hard. Just look at this again. That is just inspirational, isn't it? You know, you make a mistake, you come back, you redeem yourself by producing a block like that. That is just brilliant.
Might have actually been a little bit of a foul, but we're going to give to the benefit of youth. Because that was
I didn't want him to show that replay that close up. You know, I'll be talking to the boys about that and the girls.
At this point in the game, you just you have to let it slide, and with the lead that FAP have, you can allow the young man to get a block to his stats column.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt, as you said. There's the second shot from Almeida, come back off the ring. Good chance for a three-pointer. It's just come off the metal. The field goal percentage down for Fukash. They'll be looking at that into the last 20 seconds. It's a 17-point advantage. They're just going to use the clock. There's no stress about this situation now. And of course, you can see Cedric Changwe just holding the ball. It's game over. We know that. And there you go, the handshakes and everything. And that is what you call a strong performance. A strong second half performance from FAP has dealt them a positive hand here in Cairo in their opening encounter. Of course, FAP of Cameroon up against BC Espoir Fukash, and they win 77 points to 60 to open their account here in the Nile Conference.
Strong opening performance there from FAP. They got great shooting from Almeida to lead all scorers with his 23 points. And nice chip in by Mormon with his 13. And nice work on the inside. Iaga with 9 points too. They'll be happy with the defensive work that they were able to put in. Espoir Fukash, Kasongo's 14, Fuller's 12. But they have got to do a better job of protecting the basketball, and it's something they'll work on going into the next game.
And there's the man who will be talking to us in a couple of moments' time, Joel Almeida of Cape Verde, the new recruit, the 36-year-old, showing great experience, who's going to join Usher on court now for his reaction following that fine performance.
Well, thank you very much, Robbie. Congratulations, Almeida. You were down at the half, but you managed to get the victory today. What did you do to get the victory?
On the halftime, we had to do adjustment, so we had to pick up our intensity, and that's why we came here. On the third quarter, we picked up our defense and held them to a lower scoring quarter, and went from there and build on that. That was a collective team effort, and that's why we got the victory.
How important was it to win your first game?
It's very important to set the tempo and also the motivation for the next game. So we're just taking it one game at a time.
It's your first time to play at the BAL. What is it like for you?
You know, it's amazing. Great organization. I have nothing but good things to say. So it's a blessing to be here.
All right, thank you so much, Almeida. Congratulations. And Roby, back to you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Usher. Thanks very much, Joel Almeida. They picked up their defense in the second half. I think we definitely saw that. We also saw a great team effort. They really dug deep. They got themselves back in, and they set the tempo. As we take a look at the top scorers here, Almeida across the board looking very, very strong out there tonight.
23 points, and he was 7 of 12 from three-point land, or 8 of 17 from the field entirely. And I spoke about Kasongo's 14, Fuller's 12 points, and the other double figures coming, of course, from Deshaun Mormon with his 13. And that injury might be a concern for FAP going into the next game, but the job done as far as they're concerned. Pick up their first win, and they did it in style. 10 of 31 from the outside, 6 of 28 it was for Espoir Fukash. The turnovers we don't get to see here, but something that they'll look at, 29% from the field, and the real column that counts is 77 to 60. And Espoir Fukash got some work to do before the next one out here in the Nile Conference.
Before the next one, and Usher and Q will come back for this next encounter tonight. We've got it's a doubleheader, of course, on day 2. That's how it is. And Petro de Luanda will come up against Cape Town. The Tigers are in town. Let's see what the Tigers can do against Petra. It's going to be interesting, and it's coming up just very soon. So hopefully you'll join us here. BAL-Africa League. It's a good start for FAP. Thanks very much. See you later.